Hello, friends, family, and perfect strangers. I am Gloria, and I want to welcome you to my new channel, The Bounce Back. And I say new channel because I'm a first-time YouTuber. I took the plunge. I decided to go for it. It's been 5 years, and I decided finally to go after it. Now, I'm 55, and I'm just starting over. I don't know if you're at the same place. I don't know if you've been there. I don't know if you're headed there. But here's what I can say to you. This has got to be the best platform to be able to create a community of like-minded people, to be able to speak my truth and be received in a way that I see a lot of people being received, and that's with curiosity. I see, and I'm one of those people that I will go on someone's feed and I will make comments and I will be very uplifting and very positive. And I'm hoping that that is what I receive as this channel starts to grow and people start to comment on my content. I'm going to be honest. I don't know what the direction is of my content. And I know that a lot of YouTubers are like, you have to have a niche and you have to know what you're going to talk about. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. But here's what I do know. I do know that I'm 55, I'm starting over, I'm full of energy. My exterior really doesn't reflect my interior, my level of energy that I have inside of me. And I want to live my life on my terms. And I want to live a life that is really like checking boxes upon boxes on a bucket list. I've done recently things that I never imagined that I could or would. And let me tell you, that desire for more is there. So I have been putting a bucket list. Now, mind you, some of those items on that list are this tiny. And then there's some stuff that is like really, really big, like big ticket items, meaning, I'm going to get on a plane and fly to, somewhere exotic perhaps, or somewhere I never imagined that I would, or do something really outside of my comfort zone. That's my hope for this channel, is to be able to share with you that journey, but also to be able to share with you who I am, who is Gloria, and what is it that I stand for. Well, let me just get the basics out of the way. I am a life coach and a wellness strategist, a psychotherapist, and a registered social service worker. I am a mom and a grandma, and I'm single. I've been single for like 7 years now, initially by choice. And then, of course, the pickings are very slim. There aren't a lot of men my age available, and some of the men my age, unfortunately, are looking for women that are a little bit in the younger years. And I get it. I get it. I'm not even mad about that, because truth be told, Stella got her groove back at one point in her life too. I had a moment where, I had been in a relationship with a younger man. Mind you, it didn't last, and it shouldn't have lasted, because, it was a moment. I had just gone through a chaotic time in my life, and he came into my life during a time that I wasn't thinking clearly. But for whatever it's worth, it was fun. It was, it was full of energy. I got a boost of energy back in my life, and I'm grateful for that. Did it have a downside? Absolutely it did. I'm not going to lie about that part. But here's how I've sort of come to terms with that part. I've told myself that during this relationship, I didn't give away what I wasn't willing to part with. Part of that was a little bit of myself. I gave a lot of my emotions. I gave, obviously, finances and whatnot. But, I lost important people in my life on account of being in this relationship. because of the way that relationship was sort of maneuvering. I don't want to get into that because the reality is it's in the past. And today, the person that I am today wants to focus on today. I'm not giving energy to something that I can no longer do anything about. I am not giving my energy to a past experience. As someone who knows trauma firsthand, that I know I've had some very difficult experiences in life. I have decided for myself, and I'm not suggesting that anyone do this. You have to do your journey the way that you see fit for yourself. I have created this idea for myself that we can coexist with our trauma. The clients that I have, the people that I have worked with, that I've done work with, that has been our premise, that we learn to coexist with trauma and we can give it a place and a space. And for myself, here's where, things sort of took a shift when I started adopting the attitude that I'm going to put this trauma in this metaphorical box. I'm going to just pile it in there, and I'm going to open that box whenever I feel good and ready to deal with any of that stuff, if ever. But I know it's there. I know what I carry. I know what's happened in my life, but I'm not letting that dictate to me how I do my future. I'm here now, and I got to capitalize on the fact that I'm healthy, my mind is right, that I still have the ability to be mobile, that I still have the desire to live and to enjoy life. So why not just capitalize on that great energy? I've implemented many things into my life that have been instrumental in my healing. And one of those things are, basics. And we hear this over and over and over again. Anyone that's talking wellness will tell you, manifesting, gratitude, meditation, exercise, sleeping well, just doing the basics for yourself is so instrumental in your healing. It's so important because all these things bring a level of balance into our lives. I feel a level of peace in my life, and I've come to a peaceful place with every experience that had ever made me feel hurt or had, brought any level of chaos or confusion into my life. I think I've made peace with those situations. And what I've walked away with is this level of resiliency, this knowledge that I am a strong-willed woman who is resilient, who doesn't fall down and stay down, that I am a warrior at heart, but I don't have to be a warrior with a weapon. My biggest weapon is me knowing that I'm here and I love myself enough. And, when I take out my arsenal, that is my compassion for myself and love for myself and care for myself, all these little bits and pieces, and they're small words, but you know what? Those are such significant words for us to speak to ourselves, because the more we speak it, the more we bring it to life, right? So for me, I have, what I use for my clients is what I've used for myself. That arsenal that I provide a client with is what I've decided to provide to myself. So, I am living proof of what it is that I offer clients when I work with them. So here I am on YouTube, and my goal is to create a community, create a space where the 50 plus demographic has a place to hang, if you will. I'd love to be able to make some, some meaningful connections and be able to, just meet different people, hear their stories, and, see if anything that I say resonates with them. And perhaps you can, share some of your stuff with me that will resonate with me as well. I think that we can all learn from each other. And no matter how old we are, there's always an opportunity for learning. There's always a little window there that, we can just get something out of. And so YouTube is an area that I feel that I will be able to find that connection that I'm looking for. And I feel like I will be able to branch out and create something greater and be able to offer some of the things that I am offering as part of my coaching business. But I'm not just here to be a coach, and I don't just want to sell programs. What I really and truly want is I want to create a community, for myself. I'd love nothing more than perhaps meet some different people and perhaps, hit some of those bucket lists as a group. I don't know. I don't know where this is going to take me. What I do know is that I'm excited. I feel, a whole lot of energy. I hope that you're feeling the energy too. On that note, can I just please get this out of the way? Like, subscribe. What is the other one? Comments. Comments. See, I'm new to YouTube. Comment below, please. Share with me some of the things that you would love to see on a bucket list. If you have a bucket list, what are some of your must-haves? What are some of the things that you absolutely want to try in life? You never know. If you want to go skydiving, I'm down. We might just go skydiving together. There's a few things on my bucket list that I'm so excited to, start tackling. And can I just say that, I am old school and roller skating is one of those things that I absolutely miss. When I was young, I used to roller skate. My kids gave me a set of roller skates for Christmas a few Christmases ago, and I was too scared to fall and break a bone for the longest time because guess who was present? My imposter syndrome, of course. And I wasn't allowing myself to really experience that again. I was too scared to do it. But today I'm feeling like as if I can just tackle it. Recently, I went to the shooting range with my brother as a gift for his birthday. I took him to the shooting range and I loved it. Now, please, before you guys start getting at me, I am not saying that I'm pro guns and that I want to change laws or whatever. In Canada, we don't have, right to bear arms and all that stuff. What I am saying is that I enjoyed the experience of shooting a gun into paper. Of course, I missed most of them. Okay, so I'm a terrible shot. I missed most of them. I was super scared to hold a handgun. The rifle was the one that I enjoyed the most, and it's because it reminded me of a movie where it's like, and the bullet popped out. That's the only reason I enjoyed it so much. Apart from that, it was exciting. It was something new, and so that is one of the things that I went, oop, check. It's off my bucket list, right? So my next thing is I want to go skydiving. Okay, so now I have to figure out how do I record these experiences so I can bring them to you? How do I get this to you? So if you know how I can do this as, a new YouTuber, I may not be fancy, with my camera work at the beginning. I may be a little shy about taking the camera into public spaces, but there are a great many little things that I want to try, and there are some things that I'd love to show you that I know how to do. Look, as a single woman, and I'm sure that a lot of you can relate if you're single, live by yourself, cooking is difficult because how do you cook for one person without, making 14 pork chops, because you're used to cooking for a family, right? So now I have to use one pork chop and it lasts me for 2 meals, believe it or not. So cooking is one of those things that is a source of contention for a lot of people that live by themselves. And so, I've sort of mastered the art of food prep for myself, very easy fixes. And I want to show you things like that. And those are, sort of on my bucket list. I want to show people, how to do food prep. Or, I've learned how to do, make t-shirts. And I'm a very crafty person. And even if I'm not great at it, I try. Okay, give me credit for that. I try. So now the only question is, how do I bring that to you on in a video form so that I can share that with you without me just sitting here and chatting up a storm? Okay, so I'm going to leave things there because if you give me the mic and don't put a pause on it, I will keep going. I can find lots of things to talk about. And I know that a lot of people say, I don't know what to talk about in front of the camera. And I think I said the same thing when I started this video. And here I am 15 minutes later, I'm chatting up your ears off. So, folks, I want to thank you for being here with me today. I hope that many of you will subscribe to the channel and that you'll comment on there, that you'll like what I have to offer. Give me some ideas of things that you'd like me to talk about, some things that you'd like me to try. I am emboldened. I will try different things. Okay, so I'm just going to say this now. I want to go skydiving, but I'm going to start with just going to a simulator center first. If I don't like that experience, I'm sorry, boo-boo, I'm not jumping out of a plane. So there are a lot of things that I do want to try, and I shall see where it takes me. So, just because we're 55 or 50 plus doesn't mean that we can't live our lives, that we can't live our best lives. Whatever it may be, can I just encourage you, go out there, take life by the horns, do you, enjoy the moment. Life is so precious. And I hate the word, when people say life is short. It doesn't have to be. Sometimes people have a very lengthy life, but it's not a well-lived life. So what I'm going to encourage you to do for yourself is live your best life. Until next time, my friends, I am Gloria. Thank you for being at the Bounce Back with me. Take care now.